Okay, so last week we were talking about aristocracy, landed gentry. This week we're thinking about sorts, in particular middling sorts, but also thinking about the poorer sorts as well. I wanted to take you into the same landscape I showed you last week when we talked about enclosure and the various violent responses to that. There's a different type of response as well. For those who were classified as poor, those who couldn't get access to their own property, their own land, well, what they do is throw up their own properties regardless of whether they have permission or not. That's, you might be able to see this clump of ivy, that's right on top of standing masonry. And what we're looking at here is an encroachment cottage. Now, this is an encroachment cottage that we did an archaeological excavation on about, well, 2 years ago. Date-wise, comfortably 18th century, maybe a little bit older, but it's pretty much bang in the middle of our period of study. Now, if you go further down this landscape, you can't see it, but sort of roughly there's another encroachment cottage in the woods, and further down you have a third. So you have all these structures that are popping up very, very quickly, almost overnight in some instances, definitely without permission. But it is evidence of the way in which those who don't necessarily have financial means are getting around the system. Now, to compare that, sort of offset the poorer sort narrative over there, I want to take you to another building. I'm not going to talk too much about this because we'll look at it in class, but I think what I'm about to show you is getting more into what we might think of as our middling sort type of building. This is somewhat more substantial. So if we look here, you should just be able to make out, okay, it's mossed over a little bit, but you can see we have rooms here. If we go through the structure, hopefully this doesn't break up too much, you can see in the background we've got a nice fireplace there. We've got a bread oven coming through here, come through a little bit further into this final back room, and you can see we've got a collapsed fire, a bread oven of some sort, or the rear of it, and again this nice internal feature here. Looking at the whole building, it runs off that direction quite far. Now this is obviously way more substantial. This has some wealth, and it's in the same landscape. So I think what you've had is evidence of middling and poorer right next to each other in the exact same time period. And we'll talk a little bit about the differing qualities of life experiences felt in a building like this and those encroachment cottages over there. So that'll be, in part, be a theme that we'll explore in these week's seminars.